Good morning, and welcome back to the Pastor Study. We are rapidly approaching a dual holiday, one that just seems to run right from one end to the other. Of course, I'm talking about Thanksgiving and Christmas. The first, Thanksgiving, teaches us to give thanks for all of the gifts that the Father has given us. The second, Christmas, defines what those gifts are, and the greatest of that gift, of course, is His very Son. You see, we are loved beyond measure by the Father. When He looks at us, He does so as a father who is bursting with pride over his offspring. The one who made the stars, the very God of angel armies, looks at us and He says, I love you with an everlasting love. You are my child. You carry and are called by my name. He says that even though He knows many of us, perhaps most of us, will at sometime turn our back on Him. We'll do that either as an outright denial, as Peter did at the crucifixion, or we'll do so as we make a conscious choice or decision to disobey His word. However, in His conversations with mankind, the Father has also let us know that He's already provided a means of return, a return to that relationship with Him, and He's presented that to us. In fact, that is what the gift and the message of Christmas is all about. The way back, the way of restoration of that relationship. Jesus took the fact of our sins, and He paid the price for them. He took the checks that we wrote out, the ones that we wrote knowing we did not have the money in our bank accounts to cover. And He took the money out of His account to make them good. And you see, that's where our text this morning comes in at. I'm reading from 1 John chapter 4, verse 19, and I'm reading from the Passion Translation. And John writes this: Our love for others is our grateful response to the love God first demonstrated for us. You see, God did not just tell us that He loves us, He demonstrated it. There's a world of difference between being told something and being shown something. I'm one of those folks that I learn a whole lot better when you show me than when you just tell me how to do something. And because we can see that love in action, because of His demonstration, because we can see it at work in our very lives, we now know how to love others, even when they don't deserve it, perhaps especially when they don't deserve it. And if nothing else does, this certainly gives us something to be thankful for next week, in the midst of this pandemic crisis that we find ourselves in. Certainly we can look around and find much to not give thanks for. The burgeoning numbers of people getting ill and yes, unfortunately, some dying. Those who've lost their jobs and now because they've lost their jobs due to Corona may end up losing their homes and their cars and we don't know how far that goes. But you see, we've been given one thing we can give thanks for. And that's the Father's love demonstrated in our lives. So when you get together with your families and have this special Thanksgiving dinner, would you please consider doing two very special things? First of all, give thanks verbally for what the Father has done for you, for what the Father out of His great love has done for you in your life. And secondly, pass that demonstration of love added to yours on to other people. It's been demonstrated to us. We now know, because of that, how to give it to others. And with that, I wish you a very happy and joyous Thanksgiving next week from the Pastor Study.